Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on Racing Grid with James and Max. I'm James.
I'm Max.
And today we're going to be talking about the liveries of the 2025 cars. They have been revealed at the O2 launch event last night, and we thought in this video we would rate each of them.
It was so cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yesterday when we watched it, it was one of the greatest events I think I've seen.
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
No. And the way that the cars just came out on the little moving slidey treadmill, and it just really was something to behold, and hopefully they continue to do that in the many years to come.
Yeah, I thought it was a good event, and it makes sense. 75 years of F1. Obviously, they're gonna do something special for that, aren't they? What we're gonna do, as I said, is we're gonna rate the liveries, and we'll go like F1 did in reverse championship grid order. So we'll start with Sauber, and they released a pretty similar car to what they had in 2024. So that green and black theme. I can't really spot many differences. Can you?
A bit more of a black accent, I think. It was a very green with a little bit of black. Now it's half black, half green, and I kind of like that. It's going to give them that dark look, that menacing look, but hopefully it has the performance to go with that new look.
Yeah, who knows? I think when Audi come in 2026, that will be their time. I think this is going to be another difficult year. We'll see. But what would you give their livery out of 10?
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5. Impressive. See, I don't think it's a bad livery. It's not my favourite livery, though. I would probably give it, for going on halvers here, I'd give it a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, it's not bad by any means. It's just not my favourite.
But I think the next one in the constructors was Williams. I think
he
would like them the championship.
It was.
And I said on our prediction video on the short that we did a week or so ago that I thought that Williams was going to have the best livery of 2025. I was wrong.
You don't like it?
I do not like it, but they just haven't done anything too different.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit of a different blue accent now, like it's dark blue on the bottom and then it gets lighter and lighter as it goes up, but nothing too serious, if I'm honest with you.
I think blue has always been a theme for Williams. I know they've deviated away from it from over some years. I think 2019 they made their car look like toothpaste. Do you remember? But yeah, no, I've always liked this, this type of blue thing that they've done really since 2022, where it's been basically all blue. So I think it's been I like the livery. Again, it's not my favourite. I don't think it's bad. I would probably move up to a 7. For that 1 out of 10.
Okay, I would probably move down from Sauber. I think it was probably a 7.5. So we're pretty much in a similar region there. And then we've got the most kind of radical change, which was the RB car, wasn't it?
Yeah, Racing Bulls. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect with them, but I have to say, when the covers came off that car, I was wowed. Because do you remember the Red Bull Honda tribute livery in 2021?
Turkey.
That I loved that.
That was
probably one of my favourite liveries.
I agree.
And basically, Racing Bulls, the junior team of Red Bull, have just gone, we're going to do that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
for this year. And I have to say, I think it looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I think they've done a mega job.
So is that your favourite car out of the bunch then? Is that one getting a 10 from you?
This one is getting a 10 from me. I literally can't fault this livery. They've literally, listened to... I know it wasn't even them who did this livery in the first place, but it's like they've listened to the fans in we love the Honda tribute livery. Obviously, Racing Bulls use Honda engines, and it's not a Honda tribute livery, but to go with that livery that everyone loved in 2021 that Red Bull put on the car, 10 out of 10.
It's true. They do have a really, really nice livery, and I would give it a 10 if I didn't have one that I preferred, which I still do in my head, which we're going to get to. So I would probably give it a 9.5. I think it's just about there.
So I think we're in agreement that was a pretty good
reveal.
But we'll move on to Haas. Haas are the next car. We actually got, everyone got a bit of a sneak peek, really, of that livery, because they did a private shakedown at Silverstone just a few days before. And it was meant to be private, behind closed doors. No one was meant to see it. But obviously, photos ended up being taken from some people, from a distance. And it showed livery. We weren't sure if it was going to be a one-off or the actual thing. Turns out it pretty much was the actual thing. And yeah, I do like it. They've changed it up a bit, with the white around the side pods, and the white and black contrast theme. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think?
They've made it a lot sleeker,
yeah,
compared to where it was in 2021 with Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. And what I will say, they've got an unbelievably tall driver lineup. Did you see on the video when we were watching it that Karun Chandok and whoever else just look absolutely tiny compared to
Ollie Beerman,
compared to Ollie and Ocon. I think they're both like 6'2", 6'3".
I've spoken to Ollie Beerman before. He towered over me.
So they probably made the car slightly longer than all the other ones as well. But no, I really liked it. I think they've come a long way. I think that they're going to have a great season with the driver lineup, and if they can have as much performance in the car as they have made it as good looking, I think they're on for a good year.
So what do you think?
Okay, I think I'm going to put it in between the Sauber and the RB. I think I'm going to give it a 9.
Give it a 9?
I really like it.
Fair enough. See, I really like it too. I don't really like it enough for a 9. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay.
I think that's a fair score there. But next on the list, it's Alpine.
It is Alpine.
Alpine. What did you think of Alpine?
I love Alpine.
Do you?
I don't know. It's just really cool. They get all the color combinations amazing. They had a great launch as well with the DJ and the music, and they made it a real experience for you. Not sure about the haircuts, but but the car looks incredible, and I would say on par with RB at a 9.5.
Wow. Well, we have got a very different opinion then. Do you remember 2024, their season where they started off as the slowest car on the grid?
Yeah.
And then it took a really long time for them to get,
yes,
to where they should have been, which is nearer the front of the midfield, getting a podium in Brazil. If I was to describe that season, it would be slow to the point.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I thought about their launch yesterday. Slow to the point. Because everyone else's launch, I felt, there was a video to watch, there was a bit of excitement. With Alpine's one, it was just music being played for like 4 or 5 minutes with blue and pink lights being flashed everywhere before we saw the car. I just thought slow to the point, like their 2024 season. I just thought it was a bit of a boring reveal, to be honest.
And then when you saw the car?
And then when I saw the car, I wasn't impressed either.
So what are you? So I'm giving them a 9.5.
Oh my goodness gracious! Nowhere near that. Okay. There's something that I do not like about the blue and pink. I respect why they have it. They've been like that since 2021. I get it. Especially with their sponsors and everything. But for me, it doesn't work. I probably give it a 4.5.
Wow.
I'm really not a fan of it.
Well, let's hope they perform better than the 4.5 this season, and we start seeing more of that blue and pink livery, just to annoy you.
Yeah.
So next is, I think we're 5th in the Constructors' Championship now, and we've got the mighty Aston Martin. I was most underwhelmed with this livery, actually.
Okay.
It was quite funny seeing Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso walk down to the James Bond theme tune. Fernando Alonso, they were looking as cool as they possibly could.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a car to match. I don't like the green livery, I'll be honest with you. I think they could do a lot more with it. They could do a lot more maybe black accents in it like Sauber have done. They could make it really stealthy, almost James Bond-like, but they've gone green like grass, I just not that impressed. And how about you?
Well, I don't completely disagree with you, but at the same time I do disagree with you. Because I understand that it's been the same sort of livery for a while now. I get that, but green represents Aston Martin. Then it's like Ferrari red. It's never going to change. And I kind of do feel that there was a bit more of a green and black contrast this year, just from from the bottom of the car to like as you go up. Yeah. So I think it wasn't too bad. Not the most exciting on the grid, definitely not. But I don't think it's too bad, and I'd probably give it a Hmm. Probably a 6.5.
Okay, for me, a five.
A five.
A
So
five.
it's your least favorite
It's
one by far.
I just think, you know, when you have McLaren
Yeah.
and Mercedes, they base their car off popular colors that people would actually get their cars in. You know,
Yeah.
you often see a lot of orange
Mhm.
McLarens, whereas I hardly ever see a green Aston Martin on the road. I normally see them in black, in
Yeah.
white, in grey, in silver,
It's an interesting
and
way of looking at it.
and I
Yeah.
feel like they could have incorporated some of the customer colors into
Okay.
this car.
Fair.
And the logo is also a bit silver, I think, for
Yeah.
Aston Martin.
I hadn't even thought about that. Fair
An
enough.
interesting point, isn't it?
That's an interesting point. Yeah, something I've not even considered.
So
But that's
essentially, what's happened is Mercedes have done Aston Martin colours, and we'll move on to that one
and
next.
yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. So basically, when I saw the car, I'm not going to lie, I thought, is that the 2024 car? It's exactly the same
It is
as
very
the
similar.
as last year's car. Now, I've said previously that I thought Mercedes had the best livery, or one of the best liveries in 2024.
You did.
I do like it, and I maintain I still like it. You know, I like what they've done for 2025, even if it is a repeat of 2024. It's not my favorite this year, but I do like it still, even as I say, even if it is exactly the same. And I would probably give it, probably an 8.
Okay. Mercedes was never my favourite livery, but it was never my least favourite livery. And I think it grows on you when they're always in the podium positions and always fighting for wins, and you just get used to the colour scheme. I agree. I wish they would have done something a little bit new. Maybe they'll change it a little bit more throughout the season. But I would probably say it's around a 7 for me out of
7.
10 for
7.
Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, smart, looks good, but just the same. Right.
Absolutely.
And another team who's exactly the same is Red Bull.
And you actually thought, for those of you who didn't watch the video that we posted on a short a couple of days ago, James thought that Red Bull were going to have the biggest change from 2024 to 2025 and be the biggest upset. And what did they do?
I got it completely wrong. So let me explain it. So basically, Red Bull released, teamwear. They released a teaser video of their livery, and it looked like they were making a change. So I went bold, and I predicted, I think they are going to produce one of the best liveries in 2025 and shock us all. Turns out they have done exactly what they did in 24, 23, 22, 21, 2020. I could go on, but they've done exactly the same thing. There is literally no difference. I have to say, I'm a bit disappointed in that. It's been going on for so long, that theme, for so long. And I know, Ferrari Red has been going on for so long as well, but I think Red Bull, they could do something, to just change it up a bit. I don't think there's anything that ties them down to that thing consistently. Ferrari Red, yes, they have to stick to red, but they do sometimes try and mix it up. But Red Bull, they could try and do something a bit better. But yeah, and to just be the same as what it's been since pretty much they came onto the grid, yeah, it's nothing special.
So what are we giving them?
Uh, I don't think the livery's horrendous, but I just think it's boring. So, I'd probably give it like a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so still better than Alpine.
Oh yeah, still better than that. No, Alpine is my least favourite.
Okay. I would probably say a 6 to 6.5, just because, as you mentioned, they've done the same year on year on year. However, I would give Liam Lawson's new haircut, which is different from the slick back look, probably an 8 or a 9. I think he looked very mature. I think think him and Max Verstappen are a very good team.
I can't wait to see these two.
It's going to be fantastic. I'm actually so excited for Australia.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Lawson fares against Verstappen, but we'll find out in a month.
Very soon.
In a month.
Very soon.
But
getting up very early to watch the race.
We will
be.
We will be. But moving on to my favourite team, Ferrari.
I couldn't tell.
Like, could you not tell? I mean, right, Ferrari. Now, as I literally just said 2 seconds ago, it's very similar in respect that, they've kept the red theme. Not a surprise because, Ferrari, red is Ferrari's heritage. That's never going to change. It's never ever going to change. But you can see some subtle differences.
Yeah.
Compared to previous years. I think the red's a bit darker, I think on the engine cover you've got that splash of white for the HP logo.
I like that.
I like
I
that
really like
too.
that.
I like that too, and I think it just changes up the car. The one thing I wish they'd bring back though, and it really annoys me that it's not there anymore. You know, the Ferrari writing on the
Yes,
ring mirror.
I
What
agree. On
I
the
know
rear
I
wing,
know why it's gone because of sponsors, but it shouldn't be
it
gone.
looks so
It,
cool.
it was it. I loved that. Fans wanted it, and now it's gone. That's the one thing that I'm not happy about.
I'd love them to put it on the Halo actually.
Or the Halo.
That'd be really
Yeah,
cool if it would fit.
yeah. But to take it off completely, that's something I'm not a fan of.
It's
I have to say. But I think on the whole, I think the livery, you know, is as you'd expect it to be. Just a few changes here and there. And being a Ferrari fan, I've always liked the Ferrari livery. It's a bit of a bias there, obviously. I would give it an 8.
An 8. So you still prefer the RB over the Ferrari livery?
100. No, the Racing Bulls is 100%
Your
my favourite livery of the lot.
I would say that Ferrari for me is on par with Racing Bull, just because who can beat Ferrari red really? Like RB, yes, they're great, but Ferrari just stands out compared to all the other cars. Like when you see them on the grid, your main focus just goes to the red car. And also,
true,
number 1 in the Constructors' Championship, McLaren, who are 10 out of 10 for me. They are my favourite livery. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I like the way that McLaren incorporate their sponsors into their liveries. Like last year, they had the Google Chrome in the wheels. This year, they've got the Mastercard or logo on their front wing, and the orange and black just complements it so much, and you just can't not notice it when it's driving through, when it's racing through. Like the colors are just so fantastic.
Okay, no, fair enough. Look, I don't dislike the McLaren thing. I think they went papaya since 2017.
They did.
So you know the theme. You know, I've got no issue with it. I think it's a decent livery. I especially liked it when they mixed in chrome in 2023. If they can do that more often, I think that'd be really, really cool.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be really cool. I just think though, it's not my favourite. It's not the worst, like for sure, but it's not my favourite. I don't love it as much as you do. I would probably give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, but those are our ratings for the 2025 liveries. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. But until the next video, take care. Bye.
Bye.